Okay, notice that it was all of this, okay? The way that I break down this section is a little different than what I did with the rest of it. Okay, notice that I have little tabs here. Okay, I know it's kind of hard to see, but I'm trying to do my best to show you. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Let me pick this up, put this paper here. Give me one sec. My first time using this camera, so I don't want to press pause and start over again. So notice what I did here is I actually broke down this section depending on the sites. Okay, so this is entire muscular. Of course, muscular is muscles and skeletal. So I broke it down to those sections. Okay, so head, a neck and back, spine, turn it this way. So forth, okay, as you can see. Okay, I broke it down to all those little sections. And notice that my tab is a little smaller, so it's not so much in the way. Okay, so why did I do this? It's just easier for me to navigate through the musculoskeletal system depending on the areas. For example, if I want to look up shoulder, there it is. Okay, and there's shoulder. How can you do that? It's just looking for the red sections. Okay, and that's where I tab it. And as a matter of fact, here I should have tabbed shoulder and abdomen because I have shoulder and abdomen. That's the only one that actually does that. But if I went to the next one, this next one is, let's pick it up here, is humerus and elbow. Okay, and it actually starts right here. Humerus and elbow. Okay, so I'm just giving an example. You don't have to do that like the way that I'm showing you, but for me it helps me a lot, especially if you're not aware of where exactly you are. The wording is very similar. So for example, notice here, if you don't have it, your notes, and you're very new at this, so obviously things are not standing out for you because everything right now looks the same. Because you're just getting these manuals. But for example, I'm under humerus, but if I look at this code, this specific code says 3 centimeters or greater. Again, it's an excision of a tumor, but it says here 3 centimeters or greater. If I go to forearm, okay, we're gonna have something similar to that. Okay, so I'm at forearm. Okay, notice it's here, and if I look for the excision of the tumor, okay, it's going to be on this section over here. We also have 3 centimeters. So the wording is identical, right? The only difference is going to be here. Here it says forearm or wrist area. So that's one reason why I did it. It's just, it makes it so much easier for me to navigate through the entire musculoskeletal without not sure of what section I'm in, okay, or what site I'm in, okay. I also took it a step further, and I actually wrote down at the very top what section I'm in. Okay, so for example, spine. Every single page I have spine until I got to the next area, which was shoulder. So this is page 145. Okay, so it started over here, spine. This is the last code, says spine, until we got to the next red section, abdomen, and then shoulder. Okay, so that's how I did the musculoskeletal. Okay, then I added this tab by itself because I do code a lot for arthroscopy for shoulders and knees. Okay, so I gave it its own tab, and also because arthroscopy, it's a closed procedure. They're using the scope, so it's a very specific technique of surgery that they're doing here. Okay, after that, you have the next section. Okay, notice one thing, that they're color coordinated. Okay, that's how you see how they're different. But notice that when I'm putting my tabs, I'm being very careful and organized to put them, back to back. The stragglers, these are my stragglers. That means that for me as a coder, I'm using those as fast reference because I code a lot from here. I code a lot from here. I code a lot from here, if that makes sense. So that's why I put those little, I call them my stragglers, because I use those particular sections a lot. Okay. So going back to where we were at respiratory. Okay. Another thing that I want you to notice is that when you pick up your actual book like this, okay, and you're trying to see, notice the little white tabs, this little white tab here. It's another way you can see how it's changing where you're at. But to me, the easiest thing, honestly, is, I mean, it's a color, right? And of course, my tabs. My tabs really helped me a lot. Okay, so I did this for all the sections. Okay, so the next session